Thankfully.
Welcome to another episode of Tales from Tatooine podcast. I'm Jacob.
Fish.
And it is a new year. A new year. If you haven't noticed, a new name. We took out the podcast part because this is obviously not a podcast. It does not translate well just to audio.
I like the visuals too much.
It's too much fun. But yeah, we changed the logo last week as well. The name, kind of to reflect our original vision for the show, right? Which, even though we're only in episode 8, we've been discussing this for about a year now. This is about the time we really came up with the idea of Tales from Tatooine.
And then one day we just sat down and did it.
Just did it. And people are foolish enough to sit there and watch us.
All 5 of them.
But with a new year, it's just a good time to give thanks to those. We really do appreciate it. To our partners who sacrifice time with us so we can come sit around and talk Star Wars, even though we do it all day at work.
All day.
You do it at home. We want to thank our fans who not only watch the show and subscribe and share and comment and get those conversations going, those debates, but those who participate, they give us things like cool cups and awesome little droids and little books. We love the books. And I think I have to give a special shout out to Sandra, who's upstairs right now watching my little girl, so we can sit down here and
little baby Kylo
do this podcast with fewer interruptions, even though I know everyone misses her on the thing.
I think we've lost subscribers because she's not in the podcast.
I would unsubscribe. I can just put a picture of her. Nah, I'm not good at this. I don't know, maybe a little quick one. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's actually rather humbling to be able to sit around. And, you know, this is just for fun for us. Just to sit around, talk Star Wars, give our thoughts and opinions.
We do it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
May as well share it.
But to do it in front of a camera and have an audience that allows us to do that, we probably do it if there's no subscribers. But
probably.
It makes it worthwhile. Hours a week it takes to get this thing set up. And we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's a new song.
Now with that out of the way,
Let's get that out of your system.
that forced apology. Oh shit, it's still rolling. No, but this week we're gonna do part 3 of 3, the last bit of our Last Jedi review, if you can call it that, a review discussion, wide-ranging discussion. I guess is a better way to put it. But it's gonna say review in the title. Today we'll be going over some just dark side stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Finally get there. Snoke, Kylo. Lack of dark side stuff. Why Snoke's not a Sith. Maybe some tidbits from the visual encyclopedia. Just whatever. We'll see where it takes us. But as always, the news.
You didn't sing.
We are in week 3 after the release of The Last Jedi. Still top of the charts. Even though...
For all you haters.
Yeah. It has officially become the top grossing film of 2017. And it has pushed Star Wars, the franchise, past Harry Potter as the second most grossing film franchise in the history of the universe.
Shocker.
And we're starting to see a little more pushback against the initial negative reaction too. That's kind of dominating news. A lot of articles coming out in defense of people who have worked on other Star Wars movies come into the defense of it. And I guess it kind of seems strange to say that comes to the defense of when it's a movie, but really it's about the whole philosophy of it and the way the reception is kind of misplaced, right? So that's great. I like to see that. I like to see people being like, you know, we understand your complaints. The Leia scene where she forces her way to the ship again, it's probably not as impactful as it should have been, you know.
Probably not. I mean, this was our like last opportunity to show her Force abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, and to survive in the vacuum of space like that, and
Well, I mean, it's obvious why it happened and why it exists. I guess it's same with the Canto Bite thing. The actual use of it, like the way they use it and the way they go about it, could be sleeked ever so slightly just to make it that much more elevated. But
that's fair. Yep.
that is nitpicking at worst. So that's pretty much been the news cycle. It's been lots of calls to that. But this week we did actually get some information. First being Rian Johnson's new trilogy has its first filming location. It appears he's a fan of wet, green places.
Who is it?
Right. He's going to be filming in Scotland, actually near a pass near Loch Ness, which is pretty dope. We're going to see Nessie in the next film.
Exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just one location, he says, in the area that he's going to be using. Which it's kind of exciting to think, because it's not deserty. It's not rock and crag, and it's nice and lush and green and
Like
life. Like Endor, but more like a continent Octu, you know?
No, yeah.
Green, and
Yeah.
there are rocks and stuff, of course. There's rocks in that place, I bet you. Rocks and stuff. Water and grass.
Trees.
And leaves.
What?
But
No
just
sand?
no sand. No fucking sand. It'd be funny if he works so hard not to have a single thing of sand. Like, he doesn't even film at beaches. Like, if it's gonna be a water scene, it's just in the water. Like, it doesn't show the shoreline.
Or like rock shore,
Right.
cliffs, no beach, no sand.
No sand.
I hate
A
sand.
trilogy without sand. They said it was impossible, and yet he did it.
Oh man.
And Star Wars was saved. But no, yeah, it's interesting the new environment, to see like the richness, the life. So it's gonna be exciting. I'm very excited to see his trilogy. I mean, we have a long fucking way to go, but
Too long.
way too long.
95 years.
Before, at least 3 years from now, at most likely 4. I'm curious if they'll go from the end of the saga into his trilogy instead of continuing with the anthology films. Because I'm hearing mixed about Obi-Wan film, about a Boba Fett film. I mean, these petitions are popping up for every character to get a fucking film.
Least one. The one I'm least looking forward to the possibility of would be Obi-Wan.
Me too. It's just boring. I love Obi-Wan. You know
me
this.
too. But his story is not very exciting. The exciting part of his story we've already seen.
Yeah. And the bits of exciting things that have occurred on Tatooine have already been put into canon, either in the comic or in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know, spoiler, when he kills Darth Maul on Tatooine, you know, we see that that's probably the highlight of his time there until he dies.
Yeah.
So we don't need a movie. And Ian McGregor's too old to do a prequel, like pre.
Right. And you
Phantom
can't have
Menace.
anybody else play Obi-Wan.
No.
You've got two of the best.
We say that though, but then they do a Han Solo movie, a non-Harrison Ford Han Solo movie. You think he's gonna make a cameo?
No.
I kind of think he will. I think Disney's like, we'll give you $10 million. He's like, sure.
I mean, I guess they could, but that would be weird. Really.
It would be weird, like Inceptioned.
Yeah. No, let's not do that. Either have Harrison Ford play him or don't.
There's another movie where they got the original actor from the original to be in the reboot. It feels like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
They're making an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. A movie about him.
Like that one where he talks about getting pumped.
Yeah.
Oh, the pumping is better than sex. That's cool. I like him.
The guy that's playing Schwarzenegger is flawless. We are way off track.
We are.
I'm
It's almost.
fan.
Well, this goes back to the. We can segue. That post going around online. I'll put it up on the screen where it has the young gentleman from Stranger Things. Who would be a perfect Kylo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of what's dominating social media right now. Is like all the anthology films people want.
Mm-hmm.
They're all ridiculous, of course.
Yeah.
Or have had stories already pretty much fleshed out that they would just be kind of grasping at straws trying to get some story going.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind a Sheev Palpatine movie.
Oh, yeah. That's my number one right there. Absolutely.
Because there's 50 years of Sheev prior to the Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
Some Plagueis in there.
He was crazy. Yep.
That'd be dope. But we'll never get a fucking dark side movie.
Because they fucking hate us.
Like,
damn it, Disney.
It's like there's no way.
Prejudice or some shit.
There's like no way to do it where it's like a happy Disney film. There's like no good ending.
That's why you make it a horror film. And Del Toro directs it. I mean, well, he's a subscriber, right? You're listening?
Of course he is. He loves us. They are doing that X-Men movie that's like a horror film.
Yeah, see? We could do something like that.
That was Fox, though. I mean, it's Disney now. But, I don't know. I say bring it on.
Do it. Dare you.
They could do a movie about Ewoks, an Ewok anthology film. They can reboot that whole Christmas special.
Oh, God,
and it would
don't
still
say
make
that.
It would still make $1 billion. I don't want them to, but they could, and it would still make all the money. There's nothing they can do that people would be like, I'm not going to go see that. I'll fucking see it. I'll stand in line. I'll buy my tickets early. I'll sit there scrolling through their feed until the trailer drops. What?
I'll be there with you, but there are just some things that I don't want to have to do.
I don't want to have to do it, but I will. I will suck upon the teat of Disney for every last drop of Star Wars they'll give me. But damn it, I won't smile.
Disney green milk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Some new details of the deleted scenes for The Last Jedi have come out. Some very interesting ones. Some things that were in the trailer that didn't make it into the movie apparently were on the cutting room floor. One of those being the scene where Rey is running with her lightsaber ignited. Apparently that's a scene where on Octu there's like these ships coming to the island, and Luke tells her that, oh, those are these raiders, and they come and they kill and they steal from these caretakers. But to maintain balance, you can't really do anything. And she's
let it happen.
And because if you do, they'll come back stronger and they'll be worse. And she's like, fuck that. And so she bolts ass over there, and turns out it's like a party.
Yeah.
And in the visual encyclopedia, you see some of the instruments they're playing. That's part of that scene. Like some fish bagpipes and shit. And then Luke's like, haha, that was a test. The resistance needs people who are just ready to go in and not adhere to this. They want to adhere to the philosophy, not the religion of the Jedi, etc., etc.
Right.
But apparently it made Luke look like a fucking asshole, and so they didn't put it in. But I say you should have left it in.
They should have left it in.
Because that is hilarious, one. And I want to see those little derpy caretakers do some stuff. I want to see what they're doing partying, Yeah. I want to see them roasting some porgs, Chewbacca style.
Ooh, yeah. And eat it. Just eat the porg.
I just want to see a porg get eaten a little bit.
Just a little
nibble.
What are you supposed to taste like? Chicken?
No.
I mean, they are birds.
Yeah, it's probably gamier, like a duck or like a pelican. They're kind of pelican-y. Live by the ocean. Seagulls.
Sure,
I feel like seagulls would
like
taste kind of gross.
Than pelicans.
But they fly.
Yeah. Penguin? Penguins can't fly.
Maybe like a mix between like a duck and a mole. I wonder what those titty monsters taste like. Probably like blubber. They're just blubbery.
Yeah, probably. I wonder what the milk tastes like.
Probably sweet. I feel like it would be sweet.
It looks awful.
It does. When it's on his face.
Oh, God. Dripping in his beard.
Yeah. The memes that have come from that are just hilarious.
Awful.
Like there's one where they put Kylo in it, and he's milking Kylo. That shirtless
I didn't
scene.
see that one.
We'll get into that in the the dark side. But anyway, there's other deleted scenes, some more stuff between Finn and Rose. I guess some sexual tension, sensual tension. I don't know what you would call it. Star Wars.
But
People have
Finn
sex
is in
in
love
Star
with
Wars.
Poe.
Poe's in love with Finn.
Yeah, you think it's that way? Well, I mean, I think it's kind of a mutual thing, but...
Well, I mean... No. Felicia brought up a good point about not falling in love with the first character you meet outside of the whole First Order, and that being unrealistic, which I agree with. But at the same time, Poe... We don't know about Poe yet.
True.
He could be the first gay Star Wars character. So, and it seems like he has a little bit of some affection there. You know? You don't have to go full blown, like, into Finn for it to be...
a little bromance.
Yeah, a little bromance. A little showing the affection. I've always loved you when he dies or something. I don't know. A little kiss. A little peck on the cheek even. I don't know. But not Finn. He's always got the hots for Rose.
I was going to say Rey.
I think he feels like a duty to protect her. And we're going to get into that in the talking about the First Order, I think, with his realization that he isn't a soldier in that way anymore, that his blind allegiance isn't necessary, that he has a cause now, and it can encompass more than that one person. Because if you think about Finn's storyline, I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. If you think about a storyline, it's always focused around Rey, like doing stuff for Rey. And moving away from that was important with his fight with Phasma and being betrayed and seeing the dark side of, war and the profiteering and all that kind of stuff. So he is able to move past those feelings for Rey in that regard, and he's able to now focus and spread his attention elsewhere. So making Rose his love interest makes a lot of sense. I don't know how far they're going to go with it, if it'll be some weird at the end of episode 9 watching some fucking ceremony on Tatooine, them getting married and settling down. Sand. They're going to get all the sand in they can before Rian Johnson unsands Star Wars.
Unsands it.
But yeah. So lots of fun deleted scene stuff. 20 minutes of footage.
That's a lot of movie.
That's a hell of a lot of movie. Some cameos from the royal family. Tom Harding is in there. They're like First Order troopers. I don't know if they say anything. Some more DJ stuff. Little things like that. But nothing so much plot-wise, I don't think. But fun stuff. Little things. I mean, I'll take every bit I can.
For sure. Make it a 3-hour movie. I don't care.
Yeah, that's a 3-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a long movie to begin with, but it didn't seem long to me.
No.
You can't. It doesn't feel long when you're sitting there on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Those cozy little recliners.
Oh, so nice. But regardless, that's interesting. Yeah, that's kind of the big news for this week. Let's get into Dark Side. Let's talk some fucking Snoke. Let's talk some Supreme Leader Ren, or is it Supreme Leader Kylo? Is it Supreme Leader just done?
I don't think he's going to make a very good Supreme Leader. I think somebody else is going to have to step up.
We'll get into that. Part 1 of the Dark Side. Dun-dun-dun. So, fun story. A whole 20-minute segment of this show was without audio. I think I'm going to put some of the... What I'm going to do, this is what we'll do. So, you're going to be watching this section first for just a little bit. We're going to do this introduction. And I'm going to put in some of our better points into this stream. The audio is going to be poor, and it won't be terribly long, but it'll be some of the better points. We kind of went off the rails there for a little bit.
Well, that's okay. The last couple of podcasts have been like that.
Just get used to this. last couple episodes of this show. I don't know what we call it. We're still getting used to it. I'll put in some tidbits of what we talked about.
But I don't remember what we talked about.
Nor do I. So hopefully there'll be no repeats. Well, I guess we'll be doing this first before I get into editing.
Yeah.
So there's that.
We'll just chat. I'm
just
sure
gonna
we'll
chat.
overlap and.
But forgive the poor audio. We're very bad at this.
Your PTSD
I
has
know.
got to be off the charts by now.
I'm having an anxiety attack that I don't even know if everything's working. I don't know if this is being filmed or
Is it recording?
It looks like it is, but I don't know anymore. Is this reality? I don't even know.
We need.
If you're out there and you want to be producer in our studio,
we need one.
let's get you in here because this stress is gonna. I'm pretty sure I'm like aged a year every time we do an episode. I'm gonna lose my life after the 50-second episode. One of the big disappointments for this movie was the death of Snoke. At least the way that it occurred. Especially after 2 years of coming up with theories and
I think that's part of the reason why it was such a letdown. It's like, God, I spent so long and I thought so hard until my brain hurt trying to figure out who this motherfucker was.
Mhm.
And then he's just gone.
It was definitely a big letdown, but not necessarily in a negative way. Letdown's probably not the correct term to describe it, but his death, while important to the storyline and the transition to step away from the master-apprentice dynamic and to let Kylo come to his own and to really show us the power of Kylo, etc., because this will be Kylo's, thing.
Mhm.
He just seemed so good at what he was.
Yep.
And to not be able to kind of flesh that out more is disappointing in the way that you just want to see something cool like that. Like the powers they do show are fucking dope. Man, it's cool. Strong. Dark side, just so strong. Force lightning.
He came out of nowhere, and he's been around for thousands of years, and then I understand it.
His little speech at the beginning.
So good.
So good.
Loved
Just ripping him apart. Take that ridiculous thing off. So awesome. How he uses his name to insult him. Young Master Solo or whatever.
Mhm.
So dope. So yeah, that dark side user, that character, everyone's looking so forward to it. I was looking forward to it.
I think Disney's just a dark side hater.
Maybe. I mean, I can't imagine why they would want to care too much about that kind of stuff. It's not. These movies aren't made for sad endings,
Well, life is fucking sad. Make it sad.
It's true. I mean, I agree.
Just once. One
Just
time.
give me-
one.
I mean, it could be argued that the end of Revenge of the Sith is pretty fucked up and sad. Palpatine wins.
It's a fantastic ending.
The Jedi are almost
It's like
completely
the
wiped
best
out.
ending to any Star Wars movie.
Padme dies.
So good.
It's a fucked up ending.
It's fantastic.
Fall of the
I
Republic.
love it.
So they can. Disney.
I know they are capable. What is happening? And now they're just like, we're just gonna
To be fair, it wasn't
scooch
Disney.
the Sith off the edge of the cliff
Right.
and forget about him.
It wasn't Disney who did that, though. So, to be fair.
Disney's in charge of it now, so they get all the blame for everything.
Can we get a remaster of those? Take out some of the CGI, just put in some practical stuff just to make them elevated.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Disney, that's how you can make this up. Just do that. Put about, $2 billion?
You have to build real pod racers for these practical things.
Yeah. Not like real as in practical, as in real. Like you find a planet that's similar to Tatooine, and you
that has that kind of technology, and you build that shit.
build that shit, and then you bring it over here for us to test. Because
we'll test it.
we're
for
professionals.
free. Professional.
We have a
pod racer.
podcast. I don't know if you know that.
I'm a pod
It's
racing.
not even a podcast anymore. What is this called? We have a show. We have a YouTube show. Where are we going? We're all
I
over the
have
place.
no idea what we're talking about.
Snoke. The death of Snoke. The death of what could arguably be one of the strongest dark side users we've seen. I mean, potentially. We don't even know.
I don't know. You killed him.
But to have him there doing his thing was awesome. To see him die was not awesome. But it allows the rise of Kylo Ren, the leader of the Knights of Ren, which are, we now know, the fallen students, some of the fallen students of Luke Skywalker, which is interesting. Because I can't imagine that Luke goes to kill Ben. Luke's like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't be doing this. Ben's like, what are you doing, man? Tries to kill him. And then goes over to, like, these students is like, yo, peeps, who's going to come? Unless it's like a threat. Like, I killed Luke. Who's going to come with me? The rest of you die.
Sure there's... let's see. Ben was totally aware of the darkness inside of him and all this. And I'm sure he knew the other students that were having the same struggles within. Because you can't have a school with that many Force users and not have some of them drawn more to the dark side. He just collects them.
Do you think that Snoke was manipulated more than Ben? Because there is that in the visual encyclopedia talk of at least one other apprentice that's for sure confirmed that there's someone else out there. That goes back to the Kylo not running the First Order well, because we know Kylo is going to be obsessed with Rey not running the First Order, and we know there's going to be that conflict between him and Hux. And maybe this other apprentice comes in.
Conflict that he just has within himself,
right?
And he's like a toddler. Or like a preteen, like a 15-year-old boy trying to run this great empire. I just don't. He's too unpredictable. It's too much of a loose cannon. He's too involved in his own emotions and things like that. I think he's going to be a terrible leader. Somebody else is going to have to step up.
Do you think that? Well, we know Hux will want to step up for the First Order.
I like Hux. I would accept that.
Do you think that this other apprentice? I mean, they wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't going to be important. Well, I don't even fucking know. That's a false statement right there.
It could be some kind of contingency plan or something that Snoke had laid out. If I die, this is what needs to happen.
Maybe someone stronger than Ben, someone weaker. I can't imagine him.
Maybe not necessarily stronger or weaker, but better trained.
Maybe.
Because I think Snoke withheld a lot.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see another dark side user come into play.
Me too.
A struggle between dark side users. You've never seen.
Yeah, you've never seen that.
We get like a little
glimpse. It used to happen in the past.
Right.
Before the movies, part of the reason why the rule of two was instilled was because the Sith were at each other's throats all the time.
And we get little snippets. We get snippets of it. We have Palpatine essentially goading Anakin to kill Count Dooku, and we have Vader throwing the Emperor over into the pit. We have, obviously, Kylo cutting Snoke in half. We get little bits of this dark side tension, but it's more of these things are meant to help further them along, where we never seen one where it's the two people fighting for the same power. It's always like, this person needs to go forward. It's always a chess piece movements beforehand. Now it's just like that culmination to the supreme title of the ultimate dark side user in the galaxy. And we know that there's more. We know there's more out there, more Force users. So it'd be interesting to see this character come out of nowhere. I can already see it.
I hope they make it a girl, so motherfuckers.
I was just about to say that. I can already see it now. They make her a woman, and the whole internet flips their fucking shit.
Freaks out. Oh my god, another female.
Soon it'll just be the new trilogy is just an all-female cast.
Just to spite.
And there's this one handsome man who's like...
Lando. No, just kidding.
Who like fixes pod racers or something. It's like, his name's Johnny. He's just like, well, it's all fixed up for you. All-female cast.
Yes. And they spit on it.
Yep. Take that, patriarchy. The internet blows up.
Oh man, people lose their goddamn minds.
You would expect from the reviews that that's exactly what they think's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be a movie about women of color spitting on the one white male who fixes the pod racers named Johnny, who wears an American flag as a shirt.
Oh,
geez. has a Make America Great hat on. Like they don't even. It's just a direct reference. He has Trump hair. It's like, you're a piece of shit, Johnny. You'll amount to nothing. And then they put a lightsaber through his brain.
Yes.
And they all wear, like, communist logos. That's the future of Star Wars, according to these people. Cheers to those people. Fucking idiots.
Oh, jeez.
You
just wrote the new trilogy.
Right.
Here you go, Ryan.
And it's just 3 movies of him going, of these fucking women going around killing white men on all these different planets. They're like, you're the white man. The force is not strong with you. Zap.
Zap.
And they're always dumb. And they always have an American shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has a cowboy hat. Goes by Duke.
Yes.
It's like, oh, these women, they're practically immigrants. Saber.
Yep.
Just a whole 3 movies of these women killing white men.
Disney's gonna come knocking on your door, sir.
I know, it's going to happen.
Please make our movies.
It's going to happen. Write this perfect script. We're supposed to be talking about dark side stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, we had this death of Snoke, which was a big letdown. Because we want to see more dark side stuff. We deserve more dark side stuff. The dark side is awesome. I expected Luke to be doing dark side stuff, to kind of see that the balance that he's achieved. We kind of see it. He gets pretty angry in that scene with Rey and Kylo. When fucking Force projects out. And I mean, he doesn't fight Rey. He's just defending against her. But that whole thing, just the anger in it was pretty dope. And to see, that he had that passing moment to kill Kylo. So we get to see.
We know Luke's got some darkness in him.
Of course.
We see it in Empire.
We just want to, you always want to have a little bit more, a little taste of it.
Oh, yeah.
But
all the darkness.
Then you get Kylo. So I'm glad that the whole Rey goes dark side, Kylo goes light side storyline that everyone's predicting didn't occur. Even though it seemed like it was going to occur. At least Kylo going light side again. Being just a ploy of his to kill Snoke and to be the ruler. That was awesome. It was a great show of dark side. And important because they really did make it seem like he was going to go light side, like he was still soft.
He's very soft inside.
Well, he is, but he's also not. I think that kind of plays into the whole end scene with Luke. He was done. He's done with that. He killed his past.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he couldn't kill Leia, but he did everything else. I think that's awesome. I think we're going to see that play into the next one, the episode 9, just because his obsession now with eradicating the light, because he had to fight so hard to eradicate it within himself, it's going to be fucking dope. Maybe we should talk about that a little bit. Our predictions for the dark side for episode 9. Just kind of get it out there. I don't know what else to talk about.
Predictions for dark side. I don't know. I feel kind of let down so far. About Disney's.
Let's go into our hopes and dreams of the dark side.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
The Empire takes over the galaxy and everybody lives a miserable heavy.
There you go.
Done.
Show over. Yeah, let's get into that. Dark side. Let's talk about where we think the story's going in terms of the dark side. From the information in The Last Jedi.
I feel that since they're trying to do away with the whole Jedi thing, that they're also going to do away with the whole Sith thing. That doesn't necessarily mean taking away from light side, dark side, I guess, but...
Well, we know that Sith is gone, right?
Yeah, there haven't been Sith in a while.
Because, I mean, it's my understanding that unless there was a direct lineage from Bane, so Master Apprentice, Master Apprentice, Master Apprentice, that even though they're dark side users, they're no longer considered Sith.
Yeah,
like
I think
Sith died with Vader and
Vader
Palpatine.
was the last Sith.
Yeah. So, not Sith in general. And then with Luke, the last Jedi, now they're just Force users.
Yeah.
And I wonder,
I'm losing my identity.
right? Sith are dead, man. I wonder though. So, in the visual encyclopedia, we get, and I think we talked about this a little bit with Snoke's ring having so much Sith imagery in it. If we're not going to see that come into play in Episode 9, that being Kylo trying to reestablish the Sith, or this other apprentice working to reestablish the Sith. Because, I mean, the rule of two was just created. Like, he's like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, he saw that the Sith were killing each other off, like the great wars and this great battle for power amongst themselves, you know. And in order to kind of curb that, it was like, look, there can only be master and there can only be apprentice. One that has the power and one that craves the power. And that's it. And that kind of forced a lot of the Sith into hiding.
Right. But we get... Well, there's 2 points, I guess. First, there was a Sith race.
Mm-hmm.
2, because the rule of two was just created, why can't the Sith just be reestablished? You know, there's there's no reason to say like, oh, Sith can't exist just because the rule of two's over. There just has to be a significant reason, or I think more importantly, like a significant cause. So Kylo or this other apprentice or whomever,
control of the galaxy.
Yeah, they garner all this power. They find like these ancient Sith artifacts, right? Because the Knights of Ren, what are they up to? You know, the reestablishment of the Sith Order. Boom, why not? Bring back the Sith. Totally doable.
Absolutely.
Totally doable. I kind of see them playing into that because you have the Rebellion, the First Order. The First Order is going to have the rift between Kylo and Hux. Then you're going to have the Resistance doing their thing, which Rey is going to kind of be pulling away from a little bit, right? Because she's not really part of it in that way, not like Finn is now. So then you have the Rey-Kylo duality going on, which will be the main story.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll probably have this other apprentice. I don't know. I'm scared to make any predictions because who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Although J.J. Abrams is a little more predictable. But you have this other apprentice who maybe comes in who's been also garnering power, maybe more trained by Snoke than Kylo was. Angry that Kylo killed him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on between Snoke and this other apprentice. He comes into play. So you have Kylo forsaking the First Order. Him going after Rey. This other apprentice comes in, trying to reestablish the Sith. In order to do that, it has to kill Kylo. So you kind of have like this Kylo apprentice fight. And then the final thing between Rey and Kylo after he eventually defeats the apprentice.
Maybe the apprentice just... Do you think he could be more powerful than Kylo?
I mean, it's definitely possible now. I would, if 3 weeks ago, I would say, fuck no. He's a Skywalker.
I mean, just due to lack of training. 'Cause I think Snoke really withheld a lot.
Maybe in the terms of force abilities that he can use, you know? But
do you think he could kill Kylo?
I mean, I think they may establish that it's probable, but it's not going to happen. You won't kill Kylo and then have the new apprentice face Rey.
No.
But I think it could be possible that he gets fucking close. Kind of closer than... As close as Rey got, but with Kylo trying, you know? Because we now know that his fighting style and his abilities are exceptional. We know that he wasn't trying to kill Rey in the first one, and that's the only reason he was defeated by her. But full fucking bore fight between users, yeah, possible. I like to see that. I like to see dark side users really go at it. Yeah,
I'd like to see them team up.
I can't imagine.
Maybe not at first.
Dark side users can't do that. There always has to be someone who's below the other. Always. And neither of them, if they're trained by Snoke, and again, this is all presuming there is a fucking other apprentice that Snoke didn't just kill. But
well, I mean, they're changing how everything is perceived anymore, and what exists and what doesn't exist.
I just can't. That's one thing I just really can't imagine.
I agree.
Doing.
I'm with you on this, but it would be interesting.
It would be interesting
to have two dark side users on the same page.
I can see. This is what I can see. One of like the apprentice comes in. I hope there's an apprentice because this would be really cool. The apprentice comes in and kind of does what Kylo did to Snoke. He's like pretending to be like below Kylo, like let me help you. We can reestablish the
and
Sith.
Maybe he gets all buddy up with Hux, and they work together to overtake Kylo.
Maybe
who's very poorly trying to hold the Empire together.
Right, and he won't be. I don't even think he's gonna try to fucking do anything with the First Order. It's gonna be like, oh, I don't fucking care. He's never really cared. It's always been about like this light side, dark side struggle. So it's very likely we're going to see that more than anything. Is he's like, the First Order. I don't fucking care about the First Order. I'm going after this bitch Rey. Women in Star Wars.
Back at the First Order, things are changing. Things are happening with
Hux is trying
this new apprentice.
So I did read that Hux was responsible for like the death of his father in order to gain rank. So why the fuck not do it to Kylo? Hux is brutal. Although I don't think they're quite making him as powerful as I think they should be. You know? Especially not in The Last Jedi. He definitely seems weak and scared.
Mm-hmm. Which he's not.
Yeah. He's ruthless. I like it.
Yeah. Something's happened.
But yeah, we'll likely see that. So I can imagine the apprentice pretending to be teammates with Kylo. And Kylo being like, okay, not really trusting him. Because Kylo's not a dummy. He's like, I just killed fucking Snoke. I know what's up. But maybe manipulating him as well. So, some dark side manipulation be pretty dope. Maybe see, if we go back to that reestablishment of the Sith, we might see a little bit of backstory. Maybe not see it, but hear about it with Snoke. Like what he was up to, what he was doing, what the Knights of Ren are up to. There's a lot of potential for some serious dark side action. Which is exciting. And I think the disappointment of like the killing of Snoke and not really get to see the dark side of Luke will kind of allow us to then funnel more focus on dark side stuff. So taking a lot of loose ends and making them a little tidier. And then we do know it's likely they'll introduce some cool stuff like Force Ghosts for the Sith. Because some concept art showed a Sith ghost, which is all red, which looks dope as shit. Yep. Talking to Luke when he's meditating. That whole duality mural in the cave. Some have speculated that it shows it's not one person who maintains balance, it's two people, the light and the dark side, who are constantly in struggle with each other. And that's what the balance is. That one has a very hard time of maintaining balance within oneself, that it's always about the struggle. And it kind of goes back to the early reports we were hearing about these twins, which is interesting. I'd like to see maybe some of that come into play. I just want to see more dark side focus. I actually, not so much focus as I want to see it like expanded upon. Yeah. You know? It's always been so single line, you know? They always seek power. Power. Never like, let's find balance in the dark side, you know? Let's be able to control those and work
everybody
with.
On the whole light side of everything is evolving. Why can't the dark side?
Yeah. I want to see just more, or the reestablishment of the Sith would be cool. Just like an expansion of what the dark side is and what it's capable of. It just seems like it's always capable of the same thing. It uses some force lightning and then gets chopped in half.
Yes.
Like that's what we get.
It's like Star Wars is a light side movie with this like dark side like copying itself.
Yeah.
Like it's always the same.
If we can get like even just a little bit, like I want to see, why aren't every dark side user, and I kind of get it, why they use it, but they always have red lightsabers. Can we get a little mixture in there? You know,
Not purple.
not purple though. That's a
Mace
Mace
Windu is
Windu
dead.
thing. He gets to keep it.
It's not even a Mace Windu thing. It's a Samuel L. Jackson thing.
Right.
And he can keep it.
He can
and
have
he's
it.
dead.
He's Snoke. Hello.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
But to see like the expansion of their abilities and story, maybe a little less of like, oh, we know what the Sith are. Give us some fucking new information. Give us some new things to think about. Give us a little bit of this little tit and little tat. Give us a little more of the Sith or the dark side in general. Let us see what it's fully capable of. That's beyond just like becoming the ruler of a fascist regime. It's like that's always the end goal. It's like we get it. I want to see Kylo get away from that and be like, you know what? Snoke taught me about this. The Knights of Ren have been looking for these artifacts. I'm gonna fucking reestablish the Sith. I'm gonna go Coruscant and
And a grand
bulldoze
army. Not
all the.
troopers of Sith.
No, I want like a group of Sith, like the guard.
A lot.
So, which this is also going to be very interesting because it hasn't been confirmed that the Knights of Ren are the students of Luke. It's been strongly suggested though. If they are in fact Force users, that means they too get to use Force weapons,
Yes.
lightsabers and shit. So we see those weird little clubs and stuff that they're holding in her vision, and we know we're going to see them eventually. Does like those have like kyber crystals and shit in them?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to see that stuff. It'd be pretty cool. I feel though that Rian Johnson doing that was not part of J.J. Abrams' original plan.
It's okay. Ryan doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Oh no,
He's got
but
his own shit. Come on, JJ.
you better do it right, man. You're getting a whole thing, a whole new system to work with. Let's do it right. But yeah, getting to see some more Sith stuff. I keep saying Sith. When we say Sith, it's just a
Dark side.
dark side.
Stuff. Less syllables.
It just sounds so much better. I want to see them manipulate or take control of kyber crystals in a movie.
Yeah.
I want to see some of that.
The whole. I want to say Holcrux. That's not right. Is that right?
Holocron?
That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like Holcrux. Is that a Harry Potter thing?
That's a Harry Potter thing.
Yes. Things like that.
Yeah. I want to, getting to see a little more of like what the dark side does, what they use, and why
Not
they
just
use it.
stand around inside of a Star Destroyer barking orders at officers and troopers and shit. I mean, Darkseid, come on. The Sith are more than just that.
Bring it back
That's
to
all we've seen.
bring us to Mustafar. Let us go into his castle. If Kylo's in control now, I doubt that he would do everything from a fucking Star Destroyer. He'd be in like this place he feels this connection to. You know, he's a ruler now. He does whatever the fuck he wants. And we've seen the fucking Star Destroyers. Move on. Throne room in Vader's castle. Get to see like some Sith meditation. We've seen some Jedi meditation. Let's see some Sith meditation. Let's see some artifacts. Let's get some history of the Sith in there. Some canon. Load it up.
Yes.
Let's make it a dark side heavy episode. And I don't see why they wouldn't. It works with the story. With Kylo being what could be argued the first amateur dark side leader, really.
Because Disney hates dark side supporters.
It's true.
Like America hates Trump supporters.
Also true. But yeah, getting a little more of that would just be an excellent use of JJ's ability to continue the story. And it'd give us a conclusion that would allow us to move into other aspects of the galaxy. You know, we have to have that segue. It can't just be like an abrupt stop. Like, it has to give us something that when we get into the new trilogy, it's not this jarring effect on the watcher, on the viewer. Because if it's just too much, like it goes completely away from this saga, people will be like, what the fuck is happening here? I mean, that's why the anthology films are doing what they're doing, is because you have to have a little familiarity, you know? And right now, I can't foresee any story in the galaxy, in the new trilogy, that would make sense to anyone who's just a casual viewer. Yeah. It would be like, that's weird. And you see that a lot in The Last Jedi. It's like, that stuff's kind of weird. But hopefully we'll see more of that. It's actually all we have time for today. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully we'll get some of that stuff that missed out in there. It'd be good.
It's like a half an hour worth of shit.
I know. As always, follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and hit that little notification button. That way you can get the news as it comes from us, because we are a great source of that, obviously, with our awesome technical advances. Like and share and comment below. What's your favorite Darkseid user in canon? Not in Legends. We all know everyone loves Raven and all that kind of stuff. Revan and Legends. And we get it. Favorite canon Darkseid user. And your predictions for Episode 9's Darkseid. Follow us on social media.
Oh, and one little note for one particular subscriber we have. Lando is not going to be in charge of fucking anything.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
No. Just stop that thought right there.
Disney's watching this right now. And
No.
Yep, it's happening. Thanks, guys. Coffee's not making it better. It's so cold now.
Yeah, it's chilly in here.